Alright, this is a compilation of a few videos that I have posted on social media that I believe should make it on YouTube. So here's the thing, most times, even though I want to film something, I get busy, work gets in the way, I get tired, I'm human. But when it comes to filming videos for social media, that's a lot easier. Just pick up a phone and do it and blah blah blah. But these are a couple of conversations that I've been wanting and that I have with a lot of our clients, but I also wanted to bring this insight to other people, to prospects, to individuals on the internet that are trying to grow their business, scale, grow, especially if you are using tech to service your clients. This will be your coaching businesses, course creation businesses, and any other businesses like that, online businesses, as well as other professional firms, and then also tech companies that we also work with on the side of the agency. And I see these mistakes across the board. And so these compilations of a couple of conversations that I have shared that I wanted to bring your attention to. So if any of the things that I mentioned in this video, like, God, you're talking to me, you're preaching, amen, I received the message, and you want to hear a lot more about it, and you want us to take a look at your business and help you identify the bottlenecks, feel free to book a consultation through the link in the description box, and I'll also leave a link in the description box to our revenue acceleration formula. It's kind of like a short 30-minute video. It's also even here on YouTube, where you can actually see what we working with, how we work with the clients, and what is the actual system that we incorporate for scaling and growing businesses. It gives you a brief synopsis because attention span, but if you want to hear a lot more about it, I'll leave the video up here. And if you want to hear a lot more about it, feel free to book a consultation, and we will take a look at your business, let you know what could be the issue, and if there is alignment, we will invite you to work with us. But on this note, I'll let you get on with it. This is Biz with Tanya, brought to you by Wiz Digital Academy, a show for business athletes and online bosses who are ready to take up. I'm actually going to address the reason why a lot of businesses are struggling with actually the lead generation and generating pipeline. And the first reason is focusing on tactics. Too many businesses right now are focusing on tactics. So what happened the other day, I jumped on a call with a prospect, with a lead, and they were speaking about how they've been pitched a number of services and none of them have ended up working. People will tell them that they will generate leads for them and get them fully booked, and that doesn't happen. And here's why. So the first thing is that first I'm gonna take the blame as an agency here, because we are in our field. A lot of people are always trying to get people into signing monthly recurring revenue. One of the reasons why I have moved away from that particular model of getting into monthly recurring revenue is that first, all businesses are not the same. So you need to have a time to actually understand the business discovery, get into the data and figure out what are the actual bottlenecks, right? Because otherwise, you, even for yourself as a business owner, you are putting yourself in a situation where you might be biting on more than you can chew, because you get into the business and you realize that, what I thought was the issue is not the only issue. There are a ton of other issues that need to be sorted out so that I can get this client the result. So the first thing is this: I don't think you should be immediately pitching a monthly recurring revenue. Instead, you should actually take the time to have a discovery. Secondly, the thing that I find that is flabbergasting with a lot of businesses, and which ends up with you not getting the results, let's say if you're hiring an agency or hiring somebody, is the lack of clarity on who the ideal client is. A lot of businesses that we've worked with, a number of them, especially in the early stages, are not clear on the ideal client, and that often translates in the messaging and the tactics and the strategies not working, because you are not clear on who is supposed to get into your business. So that is often the first thing that we find that is the problem. Then let's get into the second shindig. It's often the lack of clarity on the offer. Here's the thing, right? Your offer what you're selling is not your services. There's often this lack of clarity amongst business owners where they think their services or products are the offer. No, your services and products are the deliverable, but the offer that you put in front of the prospect, that entices them, that's also something that a lot of business owners are not taking the time to create, which makes it very difficult to translate it into a language that the client's prospect, their own clients will want, right? So it's first your audience, get clear on your ideal client, then you have your offer, what it is that you're putting in front of the prospect. So this is why I often say, because too many businesses focus on their services, their products, and knowing their products, you should actually focus on the customer and what they want and what they're trying to achieve. Get obsessed with your customer, and that will translate into a great offer that the people will buy, right? Because then the third one, which is usually what people try to solve, which is the visibility, which is the lead acquisition, it makes it easier if you have those two things in place. So because the symptoms of the problems in the business appear as lack of visibility, as not getting enough leads, a dry pipeline, and everything else, that you think is the problem that needs to be solved, right? So you're like, hey, let me get on creating content because I need visibility. Let me get an SDR here so that we get in front of a lot more people. That way I will have more leads, more calls booked, and then we'll get more clients. But that doesn't pan out if you do not have the clarity on your ideal client. You do not have the clarity on your offer, which then translates in the lack of clarity in your messaging and your content and everything else that is attached to it that helps you convert the prospect or persuade prospects to speak to you. Then whether you spend $10,000, $1,000 or $50,000, until those other two elements are in place, you will not get the results. And this is something I want to address with business owners. Yes, I think agencies and service providers that serve B2B businesses need to do a better job of explaining this, but also businesses should be aware that this is needed. A period of discovery is needed so that the agency, the service provider, can get into your business and understand exactly what you are, what you offer, what you have in place, what are the bottlenecks in your business, and how we solve that so that we can help you grow and allow you to scale. Because if that is not in place, if the service provider does not do this, then it means that they will be throwing spaghetti at the wall trying to figure things out, and it will force you now to take longer to get results because they are testing a number of things. Whereas if they had taken the time to have a discovery period, life will be far easier. Why cold emails don't really win those high value deals? Now, don't shoot me yet. I want to help you understand something. So there was a conversation that I started on LinkedIn where I shared on a post that leads do not matter if they don't close, and that there is a need for a shift towards community building content that creates conversation. And on that, there was a comment from another consultant that had said that he actually could identify with this because after sending hundreds of cold emails to companies, he had not been able to convert any clients, and he felt that this approach could work. And actually, I wanted to give further insight on the subject as to why this particular approach actually works much better than cold emails. Now, let's not get it twisted. I do believe that cold emails work, but cold emails often work when you are trying to be a service provider that is more commoditized in comparison to maybe consultants that actually want to be strategic advisors. And in his case, he wanted to be able to connect with CEOs and directors and wanted to be a strategic advisor and help them in the business. In that case, often that doesn't work because the minute you send the cold emails, you come across as salesy, yes, because you're trying to sell, and there's nothing wrong with it. But also it comes across as that as if you are not on their side, and they have to have their guards up. And in this case, this is why content usually works better to connect with CEOs and stakeholders inside the business, because you are providing them with insight and perspective on the subject that they might want solved, but they hadn't thought about it. And at that point, you become somebody that they get insight from and that is on their side. And that's why when they come to you at that time, they are willing to talk to you as an equal. This is why content works better to connect with CEOs and stakeholders at big enterprises. And you might be thinking, okay, Tanya, what is the type of content that can do this? Because maybe I've been trying content and it's not working. At this point, you actually need to consider what is the strategy that you've been doing, because the biggest strategy, if you want to connect with stakeholders, CEOs, and directors, you want to position yourself as a thought leader. And no, to position yourself as a thought leader doesn't necessarily mean that you have to create how-to content and show them how they can do it themselves, because those people are not looking to do it themselves. They're looking for somebody to implement the solutions for them, or to help the teams implement the solutions for them. So how you position yourself as a thought leader is actually you speaking to the problems that they are facing and what it is that it is costing them, and why they should actually think about your approach to solving the problem. When you use this particular approach to your content marketing, you reframe the conversation with them from you being a service provider and just trying to sell to them, to you being a strategic advisor that they need on their side to ensure that they get to the goal of the business. And if you are a business that is looking to implement this type of content into your business, you are looking to create content that create demand in the market and will actually drive conversions and drive pipeline, feel free to reach out to me and let me know in the DMs, and I'll be happy to set up a time and to chat with you and see if there is alignment, and if there is, we will make you an offer. Now, if you do not have a budget, feel free to check out my YouTube channel. We do share a number of resources there, as well as our magazine or publication. But on this note, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
We will be back shortly with your episode. Right now, let's hear a quick word from today's episode sponsor.
Are you looking for a simple way to start making sales? Then you'll want to check out our coaching program, Easy Sales Blueprint. Finally, an easy way to sell your program or service. Discover the simple steps to creating a lucrative coaching or consulting business. The Easy Sales Blueprint gives you a step-by-step method to easily make more sales without spending all day on social media, cold outreach, and hitting the door to try a good old-fashioned door-to-door sales system. Apply today by heading to tiny.cc/getmoresales to find out how we can help you achieve online sales success. Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Do you dream of financial freedom? Are you tired of the rat race and would like more time with your loved one and friends, making memories that will last you a lifetime? You may want to download Building a 20 Million Portfolio, How I Created Financial Freedom by Aurélien Amaka, a successful entrepreneur, founder of System.io, and author. So why not give it a try? Download Aurélien's book now and start building your own path to financial freedom by heading to tiny.cc/freedomb. Entrepreneurship can be a lonely road to travel. Despite choosing a path that allows you to build wealth and make a real impact, it often feels like you are on this journey all by yourself. The desire to work from anywhere is fantastic, but you also yearn for a community of like-minded. You crave the chance to exchange ideas, learn from others facing similar challenges, collaborate, and forge new connections in the business world. Your friends and family may love and support you, but they don't really understand what you're going through. They are content with their 9-to-5 jobs, leaving you with no one to talk to about your entrepreneurial dreams. If only there were a community of fellow entrepreneurs, a place where you could find advice and support from those who truly get it. Imagine this, an oasis for entrepreneurs where you can quench your thirst for connection and fuel your ambition to succeed. Business Grid Insider is the community you've been waiting for. It's designed exclusively for entrepreneurs, founders, consultants, and freelancers like yourself. Here you can find a tribe of like-minded individuals ready to uplift, inspire, and help you overcome the challenges that come with building your empire. Expand your business network and explore new partnerships and collaboration opportunities. Enjoy exclusive resources, webinars, and workshops designed to enhance your entrepreneurial skills. Join Business Grid Insider today and unlock a world of support, knowledge, and opportunities to propel your entrepreneurial success to new heights. Head to tiny.cc/businessgridinsider. This is actually going to be the biggest reasons behind your conversion bottlenecks. Now, last week I hosted a masterclass on scaling your revenue engine, and it's one of the things that I discussed in that masterclass. Hi, if you don't know who I am, I'm Tanya, and I'm a RevOps and marketing strategist, business growth architect, and I work with tech startups and tech-enabled businesses to scale sustainably. Now, one of the things that I've actually identified, and that it was even something that was discussed in the masterclass because there was a question around it, is that a lot of businesses have data gaps. What do I mean by data gaps? Most businesses do not really understand what the market wants, what the market needs, how the market is talking about something, and that leads to incongruency with the products, incongruency with the messaging, and incongruency with the positioning. This is often the biggest cost behind conversions. And this is something that actually was in the mastermind call with a number of other marketing leaders from across the world, and this was one of the things that was consistently discussed amongst ourselves, because a lot of businesses, whether you are being hired as a strategist on the outside or an agency, or when you are hired internally, you will realize that there is a lack of historical data that you can leverage, and this makes marketers' jobs very difficult, and even sales. The second thing that I have noticed is lack of marketing and sales alignment, which leads to silos in terms of how they do things, and that hurts the revenue growth. So how do you tackle these issues? The first thing is actually creating data rooms. All businesses, whether you're a small business, whether you are a venture-backed business, you should have a data room, and that data room should have information and data on your customers, on who they are, what are their needs, their behavioral psychology, scoring, and everything, so that your marketing, your revenue team, because at this point this is your go-to-market team, and they have to operate as one, because this is often the biggest issue, because marketing will be optimizing for their own KPIs, sales their own KPIs, and customer support their own KPIs. Your go-to-market teams are the three teams, and they should be working together. So the data rooms should include information from customer support, sales, as well as marketing. That way it can feed into each other and actually create powerful messaging that will cut through the noise in the market. This is something I wanted to share, and if you are a business and you don't understand what I'm talking about, and you're like, girl, you're just speaking another language, Martian to me, feel free to reach out to me via the DMs, and I'll be more than happy to chat with you and tell you more about why I feel this is the approach, especially coming 2024, when third-party cookies may just be going away. Okay, we need to talk, especially founders, if you are bootstrapping. Now, yesterday I was on a call with a founder of a SaaS agency, a hybrid actually. They offer marketing services and SaaS services, which has gotten very popular in recent years. And we were having a conversation around her scaling. And the one thing that I realized, and this is irrespective of whether you have a business that is venture backed or you have a business that you are bootstrapping, they are scaling blind spots. And what do I mean by that? Because first of all, most people tend to think that scaling is growing your revenue. Revenue growth, which is something that I love, don't get me wrong, is completely different to scaling. Scaling is you being able to grow without accruing additional operational costs, right? This is something that a lot of founders, business owners do not understand, and this often leads to inefficiencies, to them not being able to get more work or to actually get more revenue or even actually make profit. Because what happens is that because they are so focused at putting out fires and being within the operations and all the madness that happens while you're running a business, they're not even realizing that they are running on a treadmill and that they are losing clients as fast as they are adding clients. So there are a number of scaling blind spots that most businesses, including venture-backed, do not take account for. And if you don't believe me, irrespective of whether a business is a small business or venture-backed, go check out the stats. Go see how many have failed in recent months. I think Take About just announced a company closing down after $45 million having been raised. So that is actually a signal that these problems have nothing to do often with availability of funds or availability of processes. Is often is something that has to do with both your operations, it has to do with your revenue engine, which if you don't know, you don't follow me on any of my other social platform, you wouldn't know that I'm hosting a class on that tomorrow, which is free. But it's also about to do, it has everything to do as well with your team. Like I've mentioned before, these are the 3 bottlenecks that I have found in most businesses, right? So what's next from here? I think we need to start having some real conversations with founders, because I find that especially those that are raising, there are many founders that have gotten so good at raising capital, they have forgotten that they are in the business of actually generating revenue. And this is often happens with VC-backed businesses. And then when you go to the bootstrap businesses, often their biggest issues are operations as well as team. Those are usually the 2 bottlenecks, and usually it's the founder getting in the way of the team, micromanaging, or even trying to do everything, trying to save the day, not having hired the right people, not being able to delegate adequately. They're delegating tasks and not delegating responsibilities because they are hiring doers and not hiring leaders. So those are things that I have found in mostly bootstrap businesses. And in VC-backed businesses, it's often burning cash with useless things. And when you get in there and you're analyzing their go-to-market, often when they say, "Oh, marketing strategy is not working," it's the ads is not working. It is the SDRs program, which is usually the sales outreach program, not working, and things like that. These are components of your go-to-market strategy because they are the tactical elements and components, but that is not your whole strategy. And if those things happen, you're not making the revenue. Now you are burning cash, and you're at a point where you're constantly raising, and you are not sustainable. I think these are conversations we need to start having. And I'm hosting a class on that for the revenue engine, which is actually a go-to-market strategy masterclass for founders, because I have gotten in so many businesses, consulting businesses, coaching businesses, online businesses. I've gotten inside tech businesses, and these problems are prominent all over, and I wanted to address especially first the go-to-market part, and at a later time I'm actually going to address the operation sides, because this is something also that we do with our company when we work with businesses. So I just wanted to have this conversation because it's much needed at this point.